let me say that wind chill and sunshine are kind of a funny thing in the winter, because in the direct sunlight, the ice is melting off of the roof and other things. My hands, with my gloves on, because of the breeze, and it is just a breeze, are so cold. They are the coldest that they have been with gloves on here recently. There's a branch in the driveway, a little one. Anyways, I'm out here pre-prepping some stuff because they said it's probably going to snow. My goodness, it is beautiful out here. It's so cold. Funny story. I crochet. I have bundles of wool yarn in there, and I have not made myself any mittens yet. And in case you didn't know, wool is highly water resistant, and it'll keep you warm. It's wonderful. Made some for the kids. They love them. So maybe that's what I'll do this evening. Oh, there comes some wind. Yeah, it's cold. Pretty, but it's so cold. Look what happens to my face when I come outside. I do not know why my eyes water. I don't think it's too great that happens. And then I got shavings and hay on me and stuff. Can you hear the drip, 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 drip? Let me see. Just a little cold out. Well, that's funny. That's kind of ironic. I show you the melting ice and then say it's cold. That is funny. I know you're in there. What I forgot to say was, or almost forgot to say, what I just got done doing was bringing, I can't even feel that, but I was bringing a big, a very large pet carrier, pet taxi up onto the porch in case the power goes out. With the ice on everything and then them talking about winds and stuff, that's a concern for me. So I have the big pet taxi up there. It's big enough to fit all of them in. That's totally secure, so I don't have to worry about accidents happening with dogs or kids. I'll just have to move a couple things around and set it across from the wood stove, and they should stay comfortable enough to keep them alive. Whoa! Well, that was funny. It's a little slippery out. I'm gonna get the wood now. It's snowing. I found a scarf this time. Didn't get any gloves knitted because I was a little tired, a little wore out. I had an interesting day yesterday. It's bugging me while I'm talking. But hold on. I can't do this. Alright. I was trying to carry a feed bucket and the phone in one hand and open a door. Didn't quite work. Yeah, my day yesterday. I'll have to tell you about that in a minute, because I am not going to talk on the phone and go up and down the ramp, because I looked back to say something to the kids and I fell again. Oh my goodness. Don't laugh, I haven't done this in a long time. dogs at the gate. Now, you might be, maybe you're wondering, maybe you're not. I started to fill it up or top it off just a few inches, just enough for, well, you can't see Cherokee, for her to get a drink. And it's so full of ice that it was just gonna run over the side. So I made a indention in there. And now I'm gonna see if hopefully the hose, I can get that on and run some water to the other horses. You know, for the record, I'm actually enjoying this. You might be wondering why she's out here a solo instead with the other two. And you know, I don't know if it's just my experiences with gray horses or what, but when a gray horse is the boss mare, they can be kind of mean, and they were picking on my Cherokee there. And so she gets to be out here and be spoiled. And, yeah. We buy a little bit of alfalfa and square bells, and I give it to her in the night. But just to pull some off there, and you know, I'm sure some people will be wondering, isn't there an easier way to do it, or wouldn't I rather do it a different way? And yeah, I wish things were different, but everybody's got to start somewhere. And I've had that horse since I was 17. So she's saved my butt, and she's gotten me into trouble. It's the way all good friends are, though, isn't it? Okay, I haven't got to the water yet. The little twisty part on it, because it's a nice hose, got the extra little thing that rotates. I'm sure there's a name for it. I couldn't thaw it out with my hands like I did yesterday, so I just set it into our building here with the heat, and I'm gonna check on that now. The trick is to fill it up just to the point where you can actually manage it still. Filled up too much the first time, didn't even video that. But you never know what you can do until you try, right? The horses have shelter, by the way. They just don't like to be in it unless it's raining. And even then, they don't actually like to be in it. But I am done out here for now. I'll have to come back out, and I'll just walk in here. I know what that wind's like. The phone. Oh, there's Charlotte hiding. Anyhow, look at that. Yeah, I'll have to come back out and check on everyone's water and stuff, and it's already starting to freeze up. Ready for a break now. I do have to check on the chicks. I've fed them and watered them, but I gotta make sure nobody's got any pasty butts. A couple of them were kind of like that yesterday. I cleaned them off, and it wasn't stuck. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. I'm sure there's somebody with a little more informative video on that. Far more informative. I will totally admit, I look at things rather poetically most of the time. If I get caught off guard, I can get pretty frustrated. And oh yeah, that brings me to what happened yesterday. Why I didn't get to do a few things yesterday that I wanted to. Like fixing up the bigger box for the chicks, because I actually discovered I do have a bigger box. Anyhow, in short, if I can do that, the dogs, one of the dogs, not going to mention his name at the moment, but anyways, one of the dogs knocked the yard gate back open, and some of the dogs get to be loose and some of them normally don't. That way nobody gets into trouble, because dogs are like kids. They need supervision, at least most of them. Yeah, I've had some that didn't. We actually had a couple of dogs that were so good that you could trust them with little baby chicks. Yeah, miss those dogs. Great dogs. But anyhow, they got out and everybody was feeling frisky, and more on the horses. The two together don't like dogs. Cherokee does. She likes like everything. But back on track, our big old puppy followed the other dogs out there, and he is just a baby doll. And he is still genuinely a puppy, and those horses had him cornered and were picking on him. And it was chaos. It was chaos. I was so mad. That didn't help. Looking back, the first thing I should have done was not get mad. But yeah, got mad, and it was like, I don't know. It's like anything. If your kids don't listen to you and you're really trying to help, nobody was listening. And then I knew I was already just minutes away from having to go and make sure my husband was up to go to work. So the pressure was on. I ended up having to pick up this dog after I had already done several things yesterday, moving big stuff around and trying to make sure everybody had a nice cozy spot out here. And anyhow, he wouldn't follow me. He didn't have a collar on. I wasn't gonna leave to go all the way in the house and get the collar. And I don't know. I enjoy these animals, but I just like your kids. I love having children. I love having 4 children. But things can get chaotic pretty quick. And it just happens. I mean, you can baby-proof everything. You can have all the bells and whistles. And life is not perfect, and stuff happens. And it's how you respond that is a very big factor. And then there's the dogs goofing off. And I made one big mistake, and I got mad. And so, if I had been calm and giving them directions instead of frustrated and angry, it probably would have been resolved much quicker. I probably still would have had to pick him up, but I would have just, instead of being mad, I would have just picked him up and put him over the fence, and everything would have been fine. But then I was wore out, excuse me, and frustrated from the emotional aspect of getting angry as well as the physical. I don't know what he weighs, but it's quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to check the chicks, and then I'm going to go in the house and do whatever I want. I love on that one cartoon where the parents finally get by themselves and they look at each other. It's like, we can do whatever we want. Sometimes my husband and I look at each other and do that, say that. Oh, yeah, it's Valentine's Day. And not that we've ever, done much, but it's Valentine's Day, and because of the weather, he's at work. He's at work and staying at work until further notice, which we knew this was a possibility, so that's why I'm out here doing everything. Well,